Hi everyone. Obviously, it's not a usual video because it is in English. Last Sunday, I had a chance to speak with a British journalist and YouTuber Callum. He has pretty sizable own YouTube channel. Also, he is a member of Lotus Eater's team. We spoke about war between Russia and Ukraine and its perception in British society and how it changed during last 19 months. Also, we discussed situation with immigrants in the West and here in Russia. And also we touched a topic of history and how people see it and the difference with the attitude towards historical monuments. Total podcast is around 65 minutes, but I divided it into several videos. Each one is dedicated to a specific topic. I hope that you will enjoy it. I know that you, as a Brit, you don't care obviously about Israel and Palestine. I totally understand. In comparison, I'm much more involved, but it's obviously I have some friends who live there. I have really good friend who is Jewish and who is like really into all this stuff, and he's also kind of like public figure, whatever. But now we have similar problem because it literally happening right now as we speak. We For those who will watch, we are recording this in on Sunday evening, uh, because you have some like riots, some like manifestations in London and some other cities. But in Dagestan, do you know Dagestan? It's like a region in Caucasus, absolute majority Muslim, almost no Russian live there, and today it was like a rumor, I don't know, not a rumor anyways, so that the plane from Tel Aviv landed in Makhachkala, and thousands of crazy people, right, they just stormed airport, and they just started to storming random places, and for they were looking for the Jews, and for Israel.
Jesus Christ.
I swear to God, Callum, I'm telling you, after we finish, you can just Google. I believe by the time we finish, or maybe tomorrow, it will reach some English speaking news, or you can watch RT. I believe they will cover it. But it's crazy. It's literally rioting. They're storming the building. It's crazy. It's absolute crazy. And also in Moscow, we also have some pro-Palestine manifestations when they when they had some chance to destroy Israel, to destroy Jews, etc. Obviously, thank God, it was much more, much. It was much smaller than you had in London, where it's like 150,000 people, something crazy like this. But still, it's like it's everywhere, and unfortunately, but we have it in our regarding our like native population. I mean, who are like part of the Russia, but also we, as you, import a lot of workers from Middle Asia, from Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, with also majority Muslim population, and our government repeating actually the same mistake which you Europeans did in France, what you did in Britain, and I'm kind of pessimistic regarding this because we already have this population here. Okay, cool, they are part of the Russia, they are Russian citizens, but please don't bring more. But they do, and it's not really nice.
So this
How
is
do?
one of the
Yeah.
complaints I've heard in Russia that I really wanted to have it down. Because I mean, you're right. The experiment, if you can even call it that, of whatever the UK did in France, of let's import hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of people every year who hate the West and biggest allegiance is to some desert conflict we don't even understand. How can that go wrong? Trust me, there'll be cheap labor. I mean, it's just not a good pitch, but whatever, we did it. And now, as you correctly say, I mean, London is just a foreign city. It's got nothing to do with the English. Most of the response, thankfully, because English people don't even live in London, is we've all just been watching the news going, that's London. It's really just that foreign to us at this point, like Dagestan is to Russians, I guess.
Mm,
But
for
at least with Dagestan, it's like, okay, whatever, it's Dagestan, it's
it's their
Chechnya.
it's
It's
their region. So okay.
yeah, it's that republic. Okay,
Mm.
so that's part of your history is having all these ethnic minority areas of land all over Russia. But we never had this. We did this to ourselves, so it's criminal. But what I don't understand is whatever's going on with the current Russian government, that they put on Russia Today and other Russian outlets the failures of the West, particularly with mass immigration. But then I hear that you've got this big problem with people coming from Uzbek and whatnot over the Kazakhstan border because there's no controls properly. So what is the situation with that? Because in our case, it's ideological, the fact that we've done this to ourselves. Our elites ideologically believe in this crap. But I just can't fathom the Russian elite ideologically thinking that massive changes in the Russian population are good. So what are they doing it for? Is it just for money? Is it just
Uh,
ignorance?
s- Mostly it's money and corruption, and because they're a bunch of hypocrites, you know. Because when they're criticizing the West, they say, "Yeah, okay, you're correct, but you motherfuckers doing the same exact thing here," and they have maybe some small percentage of them, they're doing it for ideological reason, you know, like because it used to be a part of USSR, and we all used to be like a Soviet people, so it's not like we are, I don't know, getting, at least right now, people from, I don't know, from Saudi, oh no, Saudi Arabia, bad example. Not like from, I don't know, Sudan or from Pakistan or whatever. It's all this, you know, Middle Asian country or Central Asian countries. They all used to be part of our empire or then USSR. So for them, it's like kind of restoring this union, and we're getting back like closer to them. I mean the ties, etc., etc. But I believe absolute majority, they just don't care. They just, you know, they get some, you know, bribes, allegedly, let's say it, because I live in Moscow, so allegedly from big like construction companies, etc., who mostly use these services, and they just think that it's fine, okay, yeah, there are maybe some conflicts, but in the you know, big picture, it doesn't really matter. But maybe it will change in the future, because you know, for a lot of our, you know, elites, they didn't have plans for their children and grandchildren to live in Russia. Yeah, because they're such a big patriots. But all their children, they used to study in Switzerland, in London, as there are a lot of Russians in London, and they're not the
Mm.
poor immigrants. They're really rich people usually. Russians who live. If you see some Russian in London, high chance that he is like rich or he has rich parents, etc. And so I guess that they just didn't give a fuck, and they just wanted to make as much money as they want. But now, due to the sanctions, etc., I don't have a high hopes for this, but at least maybe some will change their perspective, because they will realize, oh, shit, my families, my children, my grandchildren will probably have to live in Russia at least for next several decades. So maybe let's change something. So I
I mean, that's
blame
a
mostly money, but maybe it will change. I give a small chance to this, small chance, but let's hope.
well, I mean, that's at least something positive, I suppose. With our elites, overwhelmingly, they're going to leave the country. They're going to go to some area that doesn't have any of this in the country. They'll go to some countryside area where average house is 600 grand.
Oh my
So
god.
they don't care. Even if they're not ideological, they're able to just get out of it. And if you can't, I mean, if circumstances change, like you're mentioning, well, suddenly, oh no, I actually have to live in this place, and maybe I should govern it well. I mean, that's a hell of an incentive. I mean, it is ridiculous that we could have people governing us in any country that have gotten out. They've got somewhere else to go to. So, well, okay, then you don't have this place's interests in heart, at your heart, do you? I mean, you wouldn't have that with someone running a company, so why would you do it with a country? But okay, but how does the scandal work exactly? Because I mean, for the UK, it's all legal. You know, we changed the law in '97, and then again under Boris Johnson. So all of this has been done legally, except the boat people. That's a whole
Yeah,
other conversation.
I like your meme. Something happened in 1997. Something
Yeah, who
happened.
knows?
Who knows what happened? Yeah, right. Actually, now it's absolutely legal. They are a lot of these people they receive actually for Kyrgyzstan. Actually, they don't even need visa because Kyrgyzstan or Kyrgyzia, whatever you call it, they are part of like I forgot how it's in English. Eurasian market, whatever. It's like Russia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Armenia, and Kyrgyzstan. They are all part of this union, and if you are a citizen and part of this union, you just can go to any other country. You don't need a permit to work, and you just can live there for some and work whatever because you just have this passport. That's why so many Russians who didn't want to live in Russia due to the war or due to mobilization, whatever, they moved to Armenia or Kazakhstan because it's like they can just live there or without any additional visa, etc. So people from Kyrgyzstan can just come and work. From Tajikistan and Uzbekistan, in theory, they have to receive visa, or it's called patent to work. But in many cases, there are illegals. So, for example, they come here legally, but as tourists, they just travel to Russia, and then they just start working illegally and receive money again not officially. Someone got deported, someone not, but some come here and work legally. And also I actually made several telegram posts about it in my telegram channel that in recent 2 years we have a number of Tajik citizens who received Russian passport skyrocketed. For understanding for your audience, like in 2016 or whatever who watching 2016, 17, 18, 19, and I averaged like 20,000 people from Tajikistan received Russian citizens, 40,000. It's still, I don't like it, but okay. But in 2021, 100,000 people received. In 2022, 173,000 people received from Tajikistan received a Russian passport. And for the first quarter of this year, from January to March, for which we have official statistics, 44,000 Tajik citizens receive a Russian passport. So basically, if we like multiply by 4, we will receive approximately the same number, like 170 something thousand. So crazy amount. So like almost like 500,000 people in several years, and it seems like our government officially works to bring as many Tajiks here as they can. So
I find it so funny because it's such a bullseye to get to Russia from the UK. I got to be honest. Like legally, the process of getting the tourist visa is not fun. It's not cheap either. So,
but people
I mean, this is
from
always
Tashkent can just go here.
yeah. Well, good for them, I suppose. But I bet you wish you had more control over it.
Absolutely, but we don't, and it's a pity. So yeah, our government will criticize U.S. or U.K. for their reckless immigration policy, but then we do basically the same thing, unfortunately. So we also have this issue. Yeah, we don't have all this woke stuff which you have around LGBTQ, feminism, etc. And I like it, obviously, due to my conservative views. But regarding immigration and the most peaceful religion in the world, we don't have as much problems as you guys have. But let me tell this way: we are going to the same direction, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, it's sad to hear, but I mean, it's definitely not even close to the culture we have in the UK, at least. When I'm visiting, it is really refreshing, to be honest, to not have to see any kind of that sort of propaganda. Of course, you get like stuff about the war or whatever instead, but that's far more coherent than the crap I have to hear from the mainstream media in this country. I'll be honest. So there's that.
Yeah. Anyway, I believe that I took enough of your time, so I believe I have enough material for a couple of different videos. And we are back. I hope that you enjoyed it and it wasn't totally confusing. As I mentioned earlier, our podcast is divided into several videos, which I plan to publish daily. But you can have access to full podcast, including some parts which I will not publish on YouTube right now, if you subscribe to my Boosty аккаунт. So, thank you for your time. И, как всегда, спасибо за внимание. С вами был Ватный Либерал. До новых встреч.